Well, Brian Pirtle joins us, and I know, Brian, you and I are both animal and plant lovers.
For sure.
So there are things that you can bring into the garden to help attract the wildlife.
Yeah, wildlife, especially birds, butterflies, and hummingbirds, they're a lot like humans. They need the same thing. They need water source, they need food, and then they like to have a place to go for cover and a place to raise their young. And so if you give them those things in your yard, you'll have a lot, not just butterflies and hummingbirds and birds passing through, but they'll stay there and they'll live there. And so I think that that's a real fun thing to watch the birds raise their young and watch the butterfly caterpillars turn into butterflies. And I just think that's a fun thing to do.
Well, we start with water.
Water is one of their first requirements. And one thing about birds is they do not like water that's over 2 inches deep. So if you've got a deep pond or something like that, put in a shallow end, put in some rocks or something like that, and allow them, because anything over 2 inches deep, they'll be a little bit wary of going in that water.
Okay, well, that's good advice.
And then the other thing is cover. And back in the back, we'll look at some as I go through. Back in the back, I have all these plants for cover. This is a holly. And they love to get inside there and hide from their predators and make a nest. And it also has these wonderful berries that they like to eat.
I've seen red cardinals make nests. They seem to make nests a little bit lower than some of the other birds.
That's right. And cardinals love these. And that's the thing that I like to do, is attract good birds to the landscape. I don't like to have blackbirds and grackles and things like that. I want quality birds in my landscape. And a lot of these plants will draw quality birds.
Yeah, the crows can leave, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. And back here, this is not just great for birds, but it's also just beautiful. This is elderberry black lace, and it has these beautiful flowers that the butterflies like, has these berries that the birds like, but then it has these wonderful foliage that we like. It almost looks like a Japanese maple.
It does. It has like a fern leaf Japanese maple, doesn't it? Just a very fine texture. That's pretty.
Beautiful.
So would this be a full sun or part shade?
Full sun, or it'll go in morning sun and afternoon shade. Pretty versatile.
Okay.
And in front of it is pomegranate.
I love this plant.
Me too. It blooms a lot, easy. Hummingbirds like it, and then it gets this pomegranate fruit that the birds will eat. It doesn't ever get big enough for us to eat, but the birds just love it.
Oh, it is wonderful. It just has a great color, and it has a real tropical feel to it.
Very tropical, I agree. And then next to it is some new varieties of Gaillardia, or Indian blanket flower. And it's a new group of Arizona Sun varieties. This is the original Arizona Sun. And then this is peach shades, and that's red shades.
And those are definitely full sun.
Full sun, easy. That's our state wildflower. And so that's another reason to have it in the yard.
Is this an Esperanza?
That's Esperanza back there, and anything with that trumpet-shaped flower in a bright color will attract those hummingbirds. Hummingbirds love those bright colored flowers, and they love that trumpet-shaped flower that only they can get in with their long beak.
So they will do yellow as well as the red and the purple.
Yellow, orange, red, all the big bright colors, even hot pink. They even like hot pink.
Okay.
And then in front is some yarrow. Again, this is another great native plant, native to Oklahoma, and does so well here, and the butterflies just love it. And the key to yarrow is you can't have too much water on your yarrow. It likes it dry, it likes good drainage. So you want to neglect your yarrow a little bit, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Back of it is agastache, another great plant for the hummingbirds and for the butterflies. The foliage smells wonderful. Take a little whiff of that foliage. It smells like licorice.
Oh, it does. It really does. It has kind of almost a basil, anise
and
smell.
Back of it is a beautyberry. And it's just about ready to flower. Then it will get these beautiful purple berries that will last through the winter time. And then somewhere around January or so, the birds will come and eat all those fruit off of there. So you get the beautiful berries to enjoy in the garden, and then later you'll have those the beautiful birds to enjoy in the garden.
Well, now, isn't this something?
Red hot poker,
I
that
love
is
it.
a great plant. And we have several different varieties. And again, it has that long trumpet-shaped bloom that the hummingbirds just love.
Well, it's definitely a showstopper.
And speaking of trumpet-shaped blooms, that is a variety of penstemon, and they just love those blooms. And this thing blooms all summer long, very easy to grow.
So again, that would be good for the hummingbirds in particular?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then that is echinacea, or coneflower.
And here at TLC, I don't know how many varieties of echinacea, but
Cindy
a
probably
lot.
carries about 20 different varieties of echinacea, that's for sure. And then this is Linda's favorite for the hummingbirds. That's Penta. Linda prefers hot pink or red Penta, but this pink one was so pretty, I thought I'd bring it.
Now,
but
Penta is really good for really hot, dry places, isn't
hot
it?
and dry, great in a container or in the flower bed. It really does well here, and it's just a great plant. And then in back of it is Mexican firebush. And it has, again, those hummingbird flowers. Nothing else can get in there to get the nectar out of those in a hummingbird. They're so narrow and so trumpet-shaped that most of the pollinators really can't get in there. And then that's butterfly bush. And we have all kinds of new varieties of butterfly bush. Old-fashioned butterfly bush would get 6 feet tall. Now we have them that'll get 3 feet, they'll get 4 feet. So you have a lot of options now when it comes to butterfly bush. Not a lot of hummingbird plants for the shade, so I wanted to showcase this one here. This is Torrinia. The hummingbirds love it, and it will grow in a shady spot. Most of these plants are for sun. This Torrinia will grow in a shady spot. They also call it clown flower, and you can really get an idea of why they call it clown flower. In the back of it's Agastache. The longest blooming perennial out there. Great for the hummingbirds, and by far the longest blooming perennial out there.
That'd be good for a pot too, wouldn't it?
Great in containers or in the garden. Very heat and drought tolerant. And then over here is Cotoneaster. And again, look at all the berries on this thing. When those turn red and ripen, the birds will just come and devour it off of the plant. Real easy to grow and just a breeze, and really good for the birds.
Isn't that a pretty color?
That is bee balm. Love that. It's an herb as well, and I've heard of making teas out of bee balm leaves, but the butterflies and the hummingbirds just love bee balm.
Is this a desert willow?
That's desert willow. It's one of my favorite ornamental trees. Blooms all summer long with those trumpet-shaped flowers. I have it in a flower bed out front, and last summer when it was 110, it was blooming better than when it was 90. It just loves the heat. The hotter, the better. And then that's chase tree.
It's also called Vitex.
Called Vitex.
I've got one of these, and I tell you, it does beautifully. Right around the 4th of July, when a lot of other things are starting to kind of slow down.
That's right.
It really comes on strong.
The butterflies, they love the flower, but then the songbirds, like cardinals, will come and eat the seed off of it.
And then finally, you've got some herbs.
I wanted to finish with herbs. When you have herbs in your yard, the butterfly caterpillars will come and eat the herbs, and then they will turn into butterflies right in your yard. And I think that's the funnest thing, especially for kids to watch the whole life cycle of the butterfly as they turn into a butterfly.
Well, now I know they do dill, but the other ones,
dill, fennel, parsley.
This is chervil too.
Chervil, and this is rue. And a lot of other herbs that they like. And again, just the caterpillars eat it. And I know it kind of makes you mad when they come and eat all your parsley, but just plant extra for the birds.
Well, thank you.
And I've got this handout. This is going to be online at tlcgarden.com. It's also going to be, there's going to be a link on our Facebook page to this handout. And this is going to tell you all about birds and butterflies. It also gives a list of all my favorite bird and butterfly plants.
Great. A lot of good information. Thank you, Brian. So now that's if you want to attract the flora and the fauna to your yard. Well, what if you want to repel the deer? We're going to have some ways to roll up that welcome mat. Stay with us.